here, we can turn it into a big section content to it. But this area here, we can now create our buttons. So just to remind you, if we come back to my course, see, that's what you see here. You see the buttons, then you see the logo, and then you see my video, and that's all been added into that top area. So that's what we're going to do next. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here. Remember, we've got that link. We've already got that link. We're going to give this section name we won't worry about at the moment, and we're just simply going to put a link to first page. Now we can make this more interesting by using an image, and we'll come back and look at that in a minute, but I'm just going to show you the basics. Copy that. Now what I do is I'm going to click on link, because I'm going to insert a link, and what I'm actually going to link to in this particular case is I'm going to link to another page. So I'm going to just press Control V to put in that link, and I don't want that to open in this frame. In fact, probably I do. Let's leave it like that, because it actually will work better. Yeah, we're going to make it open in this frame, so it will jump to that page, and then we need a button on that page to be able to jump back. Okay, now I'm going to click on Insert, and I'm just going to show you the basics of this straight away. So obviously at the moment the top of the page doesn't look very interesting. We haven't put in any kind of banner or any video, but now you can see actually at the top of the page you've got a link. Okay, as I said, it's not that interesting at the moment, but you have got a link to some content, and if I click on that, it's actually going to open up that page. Now all we need now is a link from that page back. Okay, in a minute I'm going to make this all much more interesting, but hopefully you get the basic idea. Now obviously we need a link from this page back to the home page, so we need to almost do the opposite now. I'm just going to sort of show you how you would do that. Now, because I haven't actually got a button here, what I'm going to have to do is use this system to get and display this time, because what we want to see is it going to work? So can we click now on that page and jump back to the home page? And the answer is yes, we can. Suddenly we've got this kind of way of interacting. Now what we could do instead of simply just putting in a simple link here is we could add an image, which could be a button, and then make that clickable. And I'm going to quickly show you how to do that. Now the first thing we need to get some buttons. We're either going to make buttons, which I'll be coming back to in a minute, or we are going to find some buttons. If you write buttons graphics into Google, I'm sure probably lots of other search terms that you could use. Click on images, you're going to get a load of buttons that you could probably make use of. If you click on tools and then you click on usage rights, then you could use, for example, images that are made for reuse, so you're allowed to use them freely, and therefore you've got access now to lots of buttons. You could download. Best thing would probably be to make your onto the screen. So let's come over to the site, and what we're going to do now is add a button. Okay, so at the moment all we got is a link. So what I'm going to do is simply here, I'm going to just come on, and this time I'm going to have a link to a button. In fact, let me remind you one thing you will need to do before you do that, apologies, is make sure that you've actually got the link to the page you want to link to. So come down here again, and you're going to want to copy link address. Okay, come back up again, come to this editing section at the top of the screen, and we've got this link to a page, but what we're going to do is have a button instead. Okay, I'm not too worried about how it looks at the moment. I'm just trying to show you the basics. So I'm going to add an image, and I am going to upload an image, and in fact I think I've got some recent buttons that I've been playing around with. Look, I've got one here, so I'm actually just going to add that button. Okay, and then I clicked on select this file, okay, and overwrite, great, and then insert. Now one thing about that button is it's very big, but I can, let me just make the screen bigger so you can clearly see it. So right here, if I click on that, if I double click on that, I think I can, I might have to select it, I should be able to, yeah, resize it. Alright, so I'm going to make the button a bit smaller. Okay, so let's make a nice small button. Alright, so let's just imagine that I'm not, obviously you would have 3 or 4 buttons atop the screen. Now all I need to do to that button though is add a link. So I'm going to, while it's selected, I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to paste in the link to the actual page. Remember, I've just copied the link address of the page that I want it to take me to. Click on update. Okay, then click here and save changes. Now be interesting to see if that works. So obviously I'm sorry this doesn't all look good. I'm going to tidy it all up in a little minute, but we know that we've already got a button here that goes straight through to another page. But if we click on this button, which looks graphically a bit more interesting, that also does the same thing. Bang, we come to another page. So we can actually start to have buttons at the top of the page that then go to different pages. And of course we would add another button on this page to jump back to the page that we want to, back to the home page. Okay, what I've done is I've just tidied this up a little bit. Okay, so now what we've got is we've got like a banner here at the top, then we've got two buttons. You might want to write underneath what those buttons do or have it actually written on. I'm just trying to show you some ideas here. So I'm trying to, and then what I would also want to do here is have some kind of introductory video. So one thing is we need to create a banner at the top and maybe have some text, and then underneath it, yeah, so we're probably going to have some introductory text, then we have a couple of buttons, introductory text, and then a video. And I'm going to show you how I do all this. Now I actually use just one technology to do all this, and that's Snagit. I use Snagit to make video content, and I also use Snagit to make my banners. And I'm going to just show you this technology because it's so useful, and just sort of show you a couple of the things it's going to do. So first of all, let's sort of start with the idea of doing a banner. And I've just made that banner really quickly. So what I can do is I'm going to go on to Snagit, okay, and you can see here I made that banner.